Hello shape enthusiasts, and welcome back to another episode in our MAM building series. This is a MAM optimization phase. Since we have completely built our MAM working for 4 layers, we stripped it back to 1 layer and started optimizing the heck out of it. Look how big our original single layer MAM is, and look how much we've condensed it down to. Now you look at this MAM and you look at it and you go, alright, well, where's the next thing that looks massive? And I believe it is this Recombinator. This Recombinator didn't used to look like a problem in our old MAM because of our spaghetti craziness that was going on, but now that we've condensed this part into this area, all of a sudden our Recombinator looks like it's taking up 1/3 of the area of our whole MAM. So this is definitely what we're going to focus on this episode, but I think before we begin, let's do a very quick timer of how long our MAM currently takes to switch shapes. In the previous episodes, we did a lot of optimizing with new garbage collection methods, compressing all of our color mixing and quartering and rotating shapes together at the same time, cutting out a lot of the inefficiencies before it gets to the Recombinator. Let's see what those efficiencies have totaled up to. So in my Recombinator currently, this is the old Recombinator, we're running through this shape and it's currently creating this shape. Let's see what would happen if I suddenly got it to switch shapes. Alright, we'll go to the end of our Recombinator and we'll just stare at this. I think this is a good place to leave it, and then we'll start a timer. So I've got a shape, oh wait, I have to go over here to swap the timer. So we'll go over here, we'll start the timer, and then we'll pick a nice spot to chill at. Put my brain over here right now. So we're going to overwrite this existing shape with a completely different shape. So we'll copy that and we will paste it right in here, and let's go. While that times, we will be right back, and hopefully it doesn't take too many minutes before we see all of that switch over. But you can see already the rubbish collection is hard at work getting rid of the old shape. Now this thing can go through, and we don't have rubbish collection in here, that's fine. But yeah, we'll see how long the old Recombinator takes. That way, when the new Recombinator starts, we can see how much improvement we gained. Alright, we'll be right back, guys. Guys, I think I see the shape now, so we're back. This is the first one that's generating the shape, so we'll stop the timer here. It's not a super precise science, but it just gives us a rough indication. Like, are we going from a 5-minute switch down to a 1-minute switch, or did we like go from 5-minute switch to a 4-minute 30-second switch? It gives us a very rough indication of how effective our changes are, something tangible that we can measure against, and that's always good, right? So what is the plan that we're going to use to do this? Well, the belt mess of this stuff is obviously causing so many issues, and I believe there's some issues with the order of operations as well. So if we look at one layer of our Recombinator, what it's currently doing is it's taking a belt of shapes and then it's deciding, do I want to bypass or do I want to go through this splitter? And then if I bypass it, then goes through the same pathing to get out as it would go the split one. Sorry, the combined one would go through, and then this little join here is causing heaps of issues whenever you're switching from bypass to non-bypass, because you've got 2 shapes joining into the same belt again, and we never want that. So maybe we can toy with the order of operations, maybe we can compress the entire platform. We'll definitely try a few different techniques and see where we go. This game is all about trying. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to gut our original Recombinator, and we're going to gut this thing. I'm going to switch my shape back to the original shape because at the end of the video, I want to do the benchmark one more time to see how many minutes it actually is. I actually don't know how many minutes that took because it's going to be in the time lapse and I didn't really time it myself. But we will switch this back to this shape now, and we will begin our optimization process. I wonder what we can possibly do. I think the first step of our optimization process is deciding what form factor we want it in. It's obviously going to have 4 inputs, right? Whatever happens in the bottom half and the top half, they're going to be very similar, right? So I'm thinking a platform that looks like this with the inputs coming in. Can we get it into this form factor? I highly doubt it, but we can give it a go. Let's see what we have to actually fit onto this platform. So definitely we need to fit this sort of shenanigan in. There's going to be 16 of these, and ooh, we can fit 16 of these in a row. Definitely. So this is like the core of our system, right? But can we fit 16 of these in with jumpers? Interesting. And then there's going to be some belt shenanigans. So to merge two shapes, basically I just need to feed, we need to like combo these belts, right? So say we've got our input coming in, we're going to need to like combo these belts somehow. Well, comboing these belts basically just means I need to take one belt of that and one belt of that, and each one of these can feed 4. So I think if we can fit 16 on one layer, what happens if we like let's add some jumpers in here? I highly doubt everything's gonna fit in one layer. Otherwise, why wouldn't I have done that the first time around, right? Maybe the first time around I wasn't really focused on condensing. But here are the things with the jumpers. But also these belts, they need to be able to decide whether they need to actually go in here and jump, or whether they need to, like each belt feeds 4, right? But before they decide to go in and feed 4, they need to decide whether they want to bypass or not. So how would I get this to bypass? Let's have a look. So the bypass would look, so we've done bypasses a billion times before. We have some sort of signal that tells us, and we can do the signaling anywhere, but we're going to have some sort of signal that tells us, oh, okay, we need to bypass. So let's try to design one. Okay, so we need to do, well, that's not a bypass, that's a bypass. So we need something like this, and maybe we can fit them together like that. Oh, no, but then they need, the bypass isn't a trash because they need to go out into like the exit lanes, right? So if it's not the shape, it needs to go that way. If it is the shape that we want it to then go feed one of these 4, right? Like this. Yeah, that's going to be super tight, guys. Look at that. So that's going to need to like feed 4, and that's going to need to feed like 4 like that. Yeah, I have no idea. Let's move this up and out of the way a bit, and then we'll see what we do. The other thing we can abuse is, well, each layer needs this many. So we could always abuse the different, like we could do things on multi-layers. For example, we can do something like this. Put everything onto one layer on the bottom layer, and then have the top layers come down, and we can do a system. This is just another option that I'll toy with, and I'll do all this in fast forward so you guys don't need to watch. But we can have one layer. Oh, no, I don't think that's going to work, because then you've got your outputs as well. I don't know, guys. I don't know. But basically, you know what I mean? Like, we basically say this wasn't there. You could have your inputs coming in like that, and then you can have your second layer inputs coming in like that. Something like that, right? Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to try it and see. I mean, can we have our inputs coming in from the top and the third layer, or like something like this? And make it like super condensed. I've never tried this technique in any of my stuff. I just thought of it. Because if we go in our third layer, then we can have our inputs coming in on the second and the third layer. And then this is like super compact, right? Is this even feeding into the machine? I don't think so. But you guys get what I mean. That's like one technique we can try. We can try with jumpers and then copying up 3 layers. I'll try a whole bunch of different stuff. But first I want to figure out this section, because can we go bypass or feed? So let's just try making it with one set before I try different techniques for this. Say this is my stacking thing. Let's just do it with jumpers for clarity's sake. And this will output, right? This is one full belt of output shape. The bypass, for example, will just work with one belt, and then you guys can, and then I will work behind the scenes to see how I can fit 4x that many to handle all 4 belts. Let's just do one belt, right? So before I was doing the bypass over there, but basically we're going to have 2 shapes, and it's going to have this bypass signal, assuming, well, we got our brain somewhere over here, right? This is the brain that does the bypass signal, but we'll just assume we have that somewhere, and that's the signal in that tells it to bypass. Then the same signal will tell this one to bypass, and these two will kind of act together. The bypass will merge into one lane sort of thing, which will merge with the final output. Then these will have to go into this thing. So that will go in, and the non-bypass lane will also go in. So these are my input lanes into the thing, right? Yeah, that's basically it. It's the same design as we had before. I just need to figure out how to fit all of that stuff into one singular platform. So give me a second. Let me play around with it, and I will come back in, well, you'll see all the time lapse. I'll be back when I'm back. Hey guys, we are back and it looks like I've got a new design. Unfortunately, I was not able to compact it into a 2x1. As you can see, it is currently using all of the 2x2 platform. I don't believe there is much more compacting to be done given how much signal work has to come in here. I also added a trash collection stage right at the start of it. So that combined the trash collection platform sort of into this platform. So I guess you can say it's kind of squished a lot more than this, right? Because first of all, we did squish the brain into here last minute, but yeah, like this belting is ridiculous. Whereas this belting, I've employed a lot more jumpers to abuse the fact that jumpers jump faster. So a belt of this distance is actually slower than this jumper. So I've used jumpers wherever I can to sort of help increase the speed, but you can see it is all working now. It is combining the bottom half of the shape. I added extra trash collection in here so that hopefully when we change shape, especially to a null shape, well, if we change it to, I haven't done the null check in there because I had some issues with it. The null check, oh man. So the null check to get rid of the shape, where is one? Let me find one. Over here. Just the form factor of this is really, really annoying me. Because it like barely fits anywhere. I tried to put it in, I don't know if you caught me in the time lapse trying to do it, but essentially I want to put the null check like here so it can discard the shape if it is null, right? But not happening for me, and I don't know where to put it, the null check. There's like nowhere to put the null check. I could put it on the level above, but again, this form factor is just weird. I wonder if I can go to a platform and try to make this null check like into a 2x2, like longer but thinner. Like, is that possible? Can this be like here? Not really. I mean, yeah. Oh, can we employ like cable crossing or something like that? Oh, we can maybe like employ cable crossing. Like, we want the 0 to be that signal, but then the null signal is still down here. But at least this can be up one. I mean, now we just have one little tile of extra crap. There's no way I can get this form factor any smaller. Wait, is the output of this signal and this signal meant to be crossed? It is, right? This is the final output signal. It's just this little null thing. There's no way to get it in without and still maintain this. This is the smallest this circuit can be. And can I fit that anywhere? Like here. Like even if I have to like flip it. Where's the input cable? The input cable is that top bit. The signal comes in, goes through there, checks if it's equal to null, then opens that gate to let the 0 signal, and that's the input, that's the output. Like, is there a way I can fit this in here with some sort of flippy magic, double flip like that? It's like so tight. Like, let me try to cut this cable. And this one. Let's just get rid of the ones that go up because the final signal can go up anywhere, right? And then let's just put this in somewhere. Oh man, it's so tight. Literally. What about above? It's the same issue. There's like nowhere, but it's like it's just too small. And I don't want to shift all this. I can shift all this out to allow for it. Is it worth doing that? You shift all of it out by 1. Not really, because it needs to fit in this gap, right? Ugh, disgusting. I'm gonna get rid of that. Can I somehow draw a custom one in? Just trying to think. I could do something like that. Where's the in and where's the out? That's the in, right? That's where my signal goes in. It needs to go in both these sides. Oh man. Like that. Playing Tetris here with this signal. So instead of this signal going into there, we want it to kind of come in here to check. So the signal comes in. Let me just verify what the hell is going on here. So a color signal, a shape signal goes in, and then it checks, are you null? And the result of that yes or no controls this gate. So that means the shape signal also needs to go in here, because if it is not null, then the shape signal passes through, and then the 0 needs to pass through here. I can do like a super custom one and utilize the second level, I'm sure. But, oh man, do I want to do that? Can I make like a 2-level version of this signal? Oh god, what am I doing with my life? Alright, all of this can't be touched. So if my shape signal comes out, let's go, let's check on this end. Is this signal null? Let's do that check first. Is equal to null. We'll give some space since we have space. All right, is that signal null? If it is null, you control a gate. If it is equal to null, you use a gate to let the 0 signal out. So there's a gate control, and what I want to let out is a 0 signal. So like that, right? Then that's the 0 signal, and I want that to go out. Otherwise, this thing needs to check, are you not null? If the shape signal, just do it from down here, is the shape signal, we can change this to a not equal to null. And then if that's the case, we will want to let the shape signal out like this, right? And then these two signals need to become friends like that. I made it to level version. That's so disgusting. Oh my god. Yeah, well, I mean, I fit it in there, right? And then the resulting of that signal needs to feed this logic, and then somehow go up to feed the second level's logic, and somehow go up to feed the third level's logic. Oh man, that is disgusting. Disgusting, but it works, so what can I say? What can I say, guys? Is this a thing? I turned it into a 2-level thing. Oh my lord. In theory, I should just be able to flip this and shove it in here somehow. That's not right. Let me copy that again. I still cannot get my flip and my shift flip down properly. Is that all selected? It doesn't look all selected. Control C. Now I want to shift F. Nope. F. What? Why does not? No, F is that way. It is shift F. And then somehow that fits perfectly here. Like that. Why does that not look like it's fit perfectly here? I don't even know what's going on anymore. Alright, this is the signal. It doesn't directly feed in anymore. Let's get rid of some of this cable. Wire, I mean. Go to the third level, that's fine. Second level, that's fine. Let's go to the first level. It's checking the input signal. So that input signal doesn't do that anymore. It's checking the input signal. Are you null? And then it's going yes or no, and then it needs to go up and feed again. This has got to have bugs in it. Let's just double check this. So the shape signal comes out, goes are you null, which controls this gate, which lets out a 0 signal. If I get that, that should be the shape signal right now, right? The 0 signal is not being let up. The shape signal goes up, goes are you not null? And if it's not null, it controls this. So it goes are you not null? If not null, it controls this gate, which is letting the shape signal through, which is recombining down here to control this, coming back up to control that and that. All right, well, I got the null check in too. Brilliant, 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 brilliant. Crazy. But this thing's not working. Bottom level's not working. Is it the top level? The mid level's not working. Something's wrong with the mid level. Let's have a look. Something's broken with this signal. I think I deleted something here accidentally. That side's fine. Top level is feeding from where? Wait, mid level is feeding from this side, top level is feeding from that side. Gotcha. I'm confusing myself with my brand new design, but this is it. This is the design, guys. Now, the old issue was that whenever we did a bypass, instantly whatever shape is in here is crashing into this bypass lane, right? Because these are bypass lanes. So we haven't tested a shape with a bypass. So let's remove half this shape and see what it does. So on the bottom, which side is, let's remove the green side. So let's get rid of the green, which is here. We'll change that to dash dash and see how that thing behaves now. Probably a lot of bugs to fix, but I'll fast forward through any bug fixes. Now it's bypassing. You can see it's no longer stacking anything. It's got the residual stuff stacking and it's going over here, but this thing's now going through its bypass lane, see? No, it's not going through its bypass lane. Why not? Something is wrong. So this is being trashed. The green's being trashed. It goes, I don't want green anymore. This pink is still going, but it's not going into its bypass lane. Something to do with these two shapes, because this is looking at the top half, not the bottom half. Great. So I need more turnies in here. 1, 1, 2, 3. 3 turnies. So that goes here, that goes here. That should still work. Now it should go into its bypass lane. Yep, now it's going bypassing. Great. Bypassing, and then it's going out through the bypass. This side's bypass is going to be a bit slow because we've got to travel out to this exit, but that's perfectly fine. Yep, the bypass is working. Now we're getting the half shape not stacking. You can see the bypass is way faster. It's pretty much just going straight out, which is exactly what we want. Great. I guess it's time to duplicate this across to the other half of the shape and see if that works. And we're going to figure out how to combinate the final one. I think we should build rotation into here as well. But the rotation here and the rotation... Oh, I don't know. I don't know about building rotation into here. There's definitely... Oh, is there just enough space? I feel like there's just enough space to chuck a bit of rotation, like right at the end here before it goes out. That will save us an entire rotation platform. Because remember, once we got this shape combined or not combined, either way, it needs to rotate to the left and the right half to accommodate for the final stack. But we'll work on all that. Alright, so I think we're good to copy it to the other side. You can see some of the other designs I tried to fit it onto a 2x1, but honestly, I don't think this is fitting onto a 2x1, not with all these extra operations and belt work required. Imagine trying to do the belt work with this many tiles left. Like, if someone can manage to do that, I will give you some sort of prize. But yeah, let me clean up some of this. I also tried to do it vertically, but it just barely doesn't fit a fourth set of this in. So, yep, tried a few different options, landed on this one, happy with this one. It does its job. Still some gaps in here, but I don't know what is causing it because everything I've tested so far is throughput at 100%. So I don't know if for some reason when it goes through a complex system, it just gets confused, I guess. And it's the painting, but we've tested all the painting, right? And the painting used to paint at 100%. Don't know why it's causing gaps now. The maths on all this mixing is all correct. So I think it's just a game. It's like probably like a rounding error in the code or something. I'm gonna chalk it up to a rounding error in the code. But anyway, we're going to need to copy this over, but I'm just thinking about the rotation because the rotation is not super straightforward. Like, we need a platform to rotate this. This is the bottom half, right? We need to rotate it like clockwise or counterclockwise, doesn't really matter. But let's see if we can't do the rotation here. Does it make sense to do the rotation here? Let's try on the bottom layer before we copy everything over. So we obviously want to do the rotation after the bypass or the item is all merged up together. So like towards the end, maybe. It'll just have to be a very like custom sort of thing. I'm not going to try to do it in any particular pattern. So wherever I have space, I would just split the belt, do a 90-degree rotation, and then remerge it. Like here is fine. Like maybe, what are you doing, buddy? Like here is fine. Holy moly. Oh, no, here is not fine. Can we intercept it before it jumps? We can see, probably not. This one's hard to do. We can like rotate it and then bring it back. Oh my god, this is so dumb. We could rotate it and then make it jump back and out. Get creative a bit, like get a little bit overly creative like this. But I think it still saves it going through, like this is still faster than going through an entire rotation platform, right? If I just rotate it here. Let me bin everything again. Now that is rotated, I believe. Well, once it goes through the right amount of platforms. Oh wait, I'm seeing the wrong line. That is rotated, that is rotated. These two need to be rotated. This is where it's merging, it's going out there. There's no space for rotation here. So we'll have to just make it go out like this. And this one can just do it right here, right? Not there, but like there. I believe that that mathematically makes sense. We do the rotation here, then we don't have to have a whole rotation platform to deal with it, right? So if I just copy this entire section and wait, what's happening here? This is not liking this. It doesn't like to do a four-way split. Okay, that's fine. We'll just go there. Anywhere else that doesn't like to do a four-way split? No. That's where it's merging from this one, and that is already a double merge of these two. All right, cool. This is all like insane and not very sane. Let's just make sure it's all working on all three platforms before I copy it over. So yeah, with the null check, you can see everything's like completely flushed out now, which is fine. Just fine, completely fine. All right, cool. That's all good and all happy. The only other thing we could do is ensure that we could do a sanity check here and flush the final shape. That check is actually extremely difficult to do, but I'll think of something, don't you worry. All right, that one looks fine. Let's copy it over. I think it's about time now. We need to give it a flip like that. And then let's see what the heck is going on through here. So it's all the same, but obviously this needs to change because one is a rotated thing and one is not. So it needs to check the right shape, right? But is that all that needs to change? It's trying to flush away all my shapes. This needs to change because this is obviously not picking up the correct side. This side is what? Top right. So I need to get the top right, which is just a half destroy, rotate, half destroy. Which is basically that. But it is the top right. So what is this shape giving me now? Let me bring this back. It's probably going to need like 3 rotations or something. Yep. So wait, half destroy, rotate, half. Wait, that's not right. Half destroy, rotate, half destroy. Like that. Yep. And then we need to rotate this back, which is 3 rotations because that's the top right. And that should check that and let that through. Excellent. This one is the top left. So how do we do a top left? Top left, we need to rotate, half destroy. Yep. Rotate that, half destroy, rotate, half destroy. So rotate, half destroy, rotate, half destroy. And what do we get for that? That is the right shape. And then we need to rotate twice to get back the original shape. Should save these order of operations. All right, cool. Now it's checking the correct shape. Now this will work for crystals because if this layer is crystal, it'll go, all right, you're not a crystal and flush it. And then a blank thing will come through, right? And this check, is this check already checking for crystals? Yeah, it is already doing a null crystal check to check whether it needs to merge or not. So that's all good. That thing seems to be working. We got to check it with this thing. So I think I removed the green square part of it, but I guess we can just check. And now this thing needs to do a rotation. Is this thing somehow magically rotating it the correct way? What? How is this rotating it automatically to the correct side? Amazing. I thought I had to change the rotation to the other side, but some sort of flippy magic is going on here. So that's excellent. What is happening with one of my belts? It's looking awfully empty. This belt is looking awfully empty. This belt is looking awfully, it's coming through. No, it's getting, this one's getting chucked. Everything else is fine, but this one is getting chucked because this one is got the wrong rotation. What? That's a weird bug. But that is the 4th rotation of that. That is coming out top right. That is coming out, but the top one is not. What? Let me just copy this and let's just make sure this is all. Oh, I must have copied this wrong somehow. Yeah, these are all correct. Just that one that was not working, but now it should be good. Little tiny bugs. Does that mean there was something wrong here? No, everything here was streaming out perfectly fine. It was just literally this quarter cutter platform. But that is looking significantly better than this crazy nonsense. Yeah, and I'm happy with that. This is, by the way, all of this from like here to here is now up to this. Remember, we don't mind our MAM being long, because if you can imagine this being like this and then like 3 more belts of color is going to be copied like 4 times, like that. So it's still going to be limited by the sideways motion for stacking, which is perfectly fine. Now we got to do the final layer, which is just the mixing of the swapping of these 2 layers, but some extra stuff needs to happen, I believe. So let me just do the final layer. It's not as straightforward as just doing this, because this sanity check is extremely complicated now that it's a half shape. Or either it's extremely complicated or I'm overthinking it, because we can't just take a half shape, right? So you'd think it'd be as easy as like, because we've got the full shape here, right? You'd think it'd be as easy as just like destroying this half of the shape, or rotating, because this is the top half, right? So rotating and then half destroying, and then that's the half shape check. You think it'd be like that, right? And it is for non-crystal shapes. That's exactly what it is. So we just do that. This half of the shape check goes rotate twice, then half destroy, and then rotate 1 more time. So rotate twice, half destroy, rotate 1 more time, and that should give us the right shape. Right? That should in theory give us the right shape. What shape is this giving me? What? Okay, let me do this 1 step at a time. So to get the bottom half of the shape, I need to rotate twice, 3 times, bottom half, get it rotated, rotate. So rotate 3 times, half destroy, and then rotate again. 1, 2, 3, half destroy, then rotate again. And that should give me the correct shape, right? And then rotate it again. Why is this the wrong shape? Oh, because it's coming out this side. What? I'm confused. All right. Because, right. I'm not trying to get it down to the bottom. I'm trying to get it to the side. Right. So I need to rotate twice. Okay. God, things are confusing me. All right, that will let that shape through. Great. So you'd think it'd be as easy as that, but it's not, because when there's crystals involved, this half shape is going to be checking against, like, imagine this top half was a crystal. The shape coming through would be blank, but the check would be checking if it was a crystal. So how can we get it to flush shapes properly when there's a crystal? I don't know. But this middle check is also not exactly correct right now. So we need to fix the middle check too. So remember the MAM brain? Not the MAM brain, what am I talking about? Remember the little brain that we had over here that had an extra little bit? We need this logic over onto here. And it's fine to tack it on because, like I said, we're working vertically, right? And this is not hurting. This extra space here is not hurting anybody, right? And maybe we need an extra space on here to bring in the logic for this garbage collection over here, just to have extra space, because we've got no extra space over here right now. So let me put a bin in to make sure everything's working fine. But basically, if the entire top or bottom half is missing, this signal tells us that, and it factors in any sort of crazy crystal logic. So I think I'll leave that, since there's nothing condensing this form factor is gonna help, so that's fine. But this is a knotted signal and we don't want it to be. And the other thing I love about this is I've unknotted the knot signal. So now when it's green, it actually knows it's going into merging, and it's visually very easy to tell. So I love that. This thing needs to go up somewhere else, because this thing needs to bring in the signal now. So that's the signal that I'm doing from this thing. And this signal now needs to come in to tell these things to do stuff. So let's get rid of this stuff that's not necessary here anymore. This shape signal is just coming out to do stuff. So let's make this one a little bit more just straight, so we see what room we have to work with. Surely we can make this work somehow. So this signal is coming in here, but it doesn't need to come in here. We can make it come in at a slightly more convenient location for ourselves, right? We can make it come in like here, and then that will tell these whether to merge or not. Correct? This thing is now needing to tell everything This thing is coming in and it's doing its thing. Why is this no longer working? Oh, right, because that top signal needs to come back down and join the bottom signal. Oh man, that's super confusing. That top signal needs to join, and then the result of this signal is this line, and this line needs to go up to level 3 and tell it what the heck's going on, and that is the result of the signal, so this can just tell level 2 what's going on. What the hell was telling level 2 what's going on? Oh, over here. Oh, that's fine. So this one, yeah, this signal is telling level 2 what's going on. This one's telling level 3 what's going on. So now that should perfectly work. Any issues I see? Not really any issues right now. So that is all good for this side of the signal. But as I said, the garbage collection side doesn't work at the moment. We'll let it run for a bit and we'll just test how, let's see if everything saturates first. And then we'll test like some with an entire missing bottom half or something. And it doesn't matter which side I exit out of. I'm exiting out of the front here. And that's it. That's our full single layer MAM, guys. Done again. And then it's going to go through some stuff to do with the stacker. And we'll get that logic happening maybe like sideways or something. Yeah. And then we're all good. Probably do some garbage collection at the very end. How is this doing proper garbage collection? No, I didn't. Wait, this is final shape. But this is a final uncrystallized shape. So this garbage collection wouldn't even work if there was a crystal layer. How is this working? This is taking the signal and then it's stacking itself. It's stacking what? I don't understand my own logic here. This is a stacker. It's stacking it's against itself. Oh! Guys, I just clapped. I don't know what that sounded like on the mic. Genius! Get rid of the crystal part. Just need a stacker. You stack the shape onto itself and then destack it and take the top layer. Oh my god. I'm a genius. Amazing. Alright, we'll figure one step out at a time. The first step we need to do... Look, I've already figured this out before. I was like, what the heck? How is this checking that the crystal doesn't exist? Amazing. Because I was thinking, how the heck am I going to remove the crystal? And I was going to do all sorts of craziness like this check over here. Wait, where is it? Sorry, I'm looking at my old MAM. Am I? No. I was going to do this check over here, this crazy nonsense, where it's like checking if it's a crystal and then piecing it back together. That works for this because at the end we're just getting a 1 or a 0 signal to tell it to merge or not to merge, which is fine. But to piece back the final shape after removing the crystal is actually really difficult because you can't stack against an empty square, you can't paint an empty square and things like that. So it's very hard to remove like the crystal part. You stack it on itself, destack it, and then the broken layer is the non-crystalline part. Oh, amazing. Anyway, this thing isn't even working, so let's figure out what the heck is going on. The bottom layer is not coming out. Well, the bottom layer is coming out. The top layer, no, the mid layer. It's always the mid layer, guys. It's always the mid layer. What's happening with the mid layer? This signal is not going up anymore to the mid layer. All right, that's fine. We'll just get it to go up to the mid layer. I don't know why it wasn't going up to the mid layer because doesn't it travel along here and then go up to the mid layer? Why? Weird. Let's clean this up a little bit. We don't need this going all crazy anymore. And that's it. That is the check. All right, so we need to fix this check. So this check, maybe I don't need an entire platform to do this check anymore. So we can definitely do that check. And then we need to do like rotation as well for the final shape because that is not the correct orientation of the final shape. It needs to be rotated 180 degrees backwards. Well, I can't even tell what the pre-rotated shape is. Let's try to capture a shape going pre-rotation. So the pink is there. It needs to be rotated 90 degrees the other way. Yeah. So these need to change direction. Maybe I should replace them instead of deleting them. Yeah, let me rotate this. Not a virtual rotator, a real rotator. It's been too long, I've forgotten how to play this game. So this is a clockwise rotator. We need counterclockwise rotators for all of these. I believe that should do it. And now we should get the correct shape. And remember, I cut out the green square part of it. While we're figuring stuff out, let's test one of the bypasses. So let's get rid of one of the top shapes or the bottom shape. It doesn't really matter. So since we've gotten rid of the green square, we need to get rid of the magenta square. So let's get rid of the magenta square. And now we only have half a shape. Let's see if this thing can produce half a shape. It should basically instantly bypass. It should be like, this is now rubbish because it's null. And then it should bypass. And see how the bypass is still causing little jams, I believe. But it looks like it's flowing all right. It's causing less jams because there's less belt overall, right? So now this shape is bypassing. Yep, there we go. That shape is now bypassing. It's still rotated incorrectly. I think I didn't copy this up to everywhere. Make sure all 3 layers are rotated the same. And yep, that looks like it's now fixed itself. Great, beautiful. So this check is fine to check whether it rotates or bypasses the shape as we are leveraging our old work. This check is not, because oh, I have to put some crystal shapes in. How can I demonstrate this check is not working? All right, I'm going to replace one of the top with a crystal. So the uncolored part, I'm going to replace it with like a yellow crystal, for example. And let's have a look. The uncolored part. So let's make that crystal yellow, right? So now that part is a yellow crystal. Now let's have a look at what this check is doing. This check is now discarding everything, right? Even though after a while, it's going to stop stacking. This part will stop stacking, and we're only going to, this is going to go through bypass, right? Once this all declogs itself, which will happen a lot faster now because the rubbish bin is right there. Excellent. Oh, this is beautiful. So, but yeah, it will declog itself, but you can see, even though the white quarter square is the correct shape, it's getting trashed. Because what is this checking against? Have a look. This thing is going, are you a white square and a yellow crystal? No, you're not. So how do we fix this? Well, here's the trick, guys. Here is the trick. We're gonna stack this onto itself. So I need a stacker. I need to peel one of these. Wait, we have so much space here. Let's work back here because I think I need some space. Because the other side's gonna need to do something similar. Oh, but the other side's got no space. Why don't we give the other side some space? Alright, we'll worry about the other side in a bit. We can always move this. Let's do it with the easy side first. So this is my half shape, right? I'm going to stack this onto itself. So we're going to grab a virtual stacker. And we're going to take the signal and we're going to stack it onto itself. And now you'll see this signal, the top layer, if you can see, the crystal's broken. There's no more crystals. So what do? We now just destack this. Virtual destacker. We stack, we unstack, and boom. We got our thing. Only one of these is the correct side. Oh no, don't go there. I don't know which one is the correct side though. Let me just test. Forget this top part. Is this the one with the crystal or without? So that's the one with the crystal. I want the part without the crystal, which is that. That's all. That's it. That's how you get rid of the crystal part. And then now it's all happy. See? The crystal's broken off. Stack, destack, boom, done. This needs to do the same thing over here. So we'll give it as much room. And then it needs to do this weird stack, destack out operation. Which, can it happen here? Probably not. Well, we'll give it plenty of room. Look, this is the final platform. Let's just give it plenty of room. Let's just put... Oh. Let's just take this and just move it over here, and then we'll give this signal can come out like here, maybe like one less, like that. Nope, like even one less. God, these signal turns are killing me, guys. And then it can go up here into the virtual stacker, and then this thing can do all its operations somewhere. So it needs to do 3 rotations, like here, and then it needs to do a destroy, like that, and then it needs to do 2 more rotations, and then that's the correct shape with the crystalline part. Then we need to go through this stack destack process. So let's see where we can fit that in, like that maybe. Nope, like that. Yup. And then it needs to go through a virtual destacker. And then that virtual, that virtual destacker. So this signal from the stacker needs to come out into the virtual destacker. And then this is the correct signal that it needs to check against. I believe that's right. We'll bug fix it as we need to. We'll make a mental note this is probably wrong somehow, some way. Actually, you know what? Let's just test it with an actual shape. What are we doing, guys? Let's put in a half crystal shape. Configure that with, let's go crystal, blue, circle, white. That seems like a cool shape to do. Now, it'll take a while for this shape to come through, but when it does come through, we can test it. And I believe we've got it all working. We've condensed it. This is all happy dappy. We can probably do a very similar thing with the final shape check somehow with the crystal stacking, but you know what? This platform isn't causing any issues at all, so why bother? This is stopping, which is good. It's all being flushed. This is waiting for its stacking partner. Yep, that's all correct. So while that's waiting, we'll just let it run, and then when it finishes running, look, it's all coming. I think. Yep, white's coming. White circles are coming. It's gonna just take a while. All right, I'll be right back. Yep, we're back, and it looks like it's fine. I don't know why this one's not getting any shapes though. Did I break something here? This is going through here. That's not the right line. What is this line? What? Why is it only 3 things are bypassing? Hold on. I have a bug here. Do I have a bug here? Just on this platform. What the heck? Alright, let's trace this bug back. So this one is coming from here. It's going through here, back here. That's the output of that. And it's not being linked somewhere. That's this one, which is this thing's bypass. How is this being linked with this thing's bypass? Where are the 4 bypasses going? This thing. Ah, this thing over here. It's not being linked to this thing. It's ending here. It's not being connected back to the bypass. Did I not connect it, or what happened? Why is the other thing not causing this issue? What's going on? Did I fix it on one platform but not the other? Let me just double check this part of the platform. No, this one is fixed. That's this turn. No, this side is also not fixed. But how is it getting all the bypass? What? That should be linked here. I'm so confused how this one is like perfectly fine. Because this one's not bypassing, that's why. Alright, that's fine. Cool, that's why you gotta test all the bypass on both sides to find all the bugs. But I'm sure there'll still be little bugs. We've made a lot of changes, so don't be afraid of bugs. We're missing 2 rows here because this has probably got the exact same issue, right? Yeah. There we go. So that is definitely working now. This thing does work, so you can see it is giving me my non-crystal version of the shape. So it is letting that shape through, it's letting that shape through, and then it is doing the crystal shape. If you don't know what the final shape it's trying to produce is, it's this thing with dual crystals. So you can see before the crystallization phase, it should just produce this square and this circle white. Which is the square and the circle white, which is perfect. Great. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to quickly skip over this part, but I'm going to get it to do our original shape. Remember I promised you guys a speed difference test at the start of the episode. So we're going to do that speed difference test now by configuring this thing to be our original shape. When that thing fully saturates over here, we will start a timer. And that timer we'll start the timer and then we'll switch it over to this shape. I believe that's the test we did at the start. We had a fully saturated this shape and then we switched to this shape and there was a timer. I don't know how long it took before. I don't know how long it's going to take now, but you guys will see it when I edit it and overlay a timer. Cool. All right. Awesome. I'll be right back. All right, guys, I believe we're back and we're pretty close to full saturation of this belt. So I'm going to switch over the shape and I'm going to kick off that timer. You guys ready? I hope this made a difference. Imagine if it made no difference at all and this whole episode was just a gigantic waste of time. But yeah, oh well. It is what it is. If that's the case, you know, sometimes you spend hours doing optimization and like nothing changes at all and you achieve nothing. But anyway, hopefully that's not the case. So I will start off this timer. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, start. That's it, guys. I think I gotta stop the timer. I see one of my shape. They're coming through, guys. They're definitely coming through. There it is. There it is. Look at that. Beauty. That was so fast. I think that was like 2 minutes. I don't know. I think I left at 4:36 and now it's 4:38. I don't know. That's fast, guys. That's super fast. Oh, I'm so happy it did something. I'm so happy. all this work was not for nothing. But this is way faster than the old MAM. Let's have a look at our old MAM. So our old MAM worked from here to here, right? We'll give it a fair comparison. Not that platform, but this is our old MAM. Let me just copy it. Look at that. We've kept the length. We've shortened the length slightly, right? But the width, holy moly, look how fat the old MAM is. And then that's duplicating like 4 times, plus these belts. Oh man, our new MAM is gonna be sleek. It's gonna be super sleek, guys. It's gonna be long, which is good. We need it longer lengthwise because we're gonna copy it 4 times. And then I want my final 4-layer MAM to be like a square. I don't want to be like really fat like this, right? Because then you can imagine the belts to merge will go sideways and they'll have to travel a long distance. Ideally, the best form factor for a MAM is like a square, right? So however long this is, maybe like there's not much layer. I think I'm going to copy this over and do the 4 layers first and then figure out the crystallizing and stacking process, because stacking and crystallizing is kind of like a joint venture, right? Because it stacks and crystallizes and stacks and crystallizes. So maybe this is the end of my MAM, and then next episode we will take this and we'll copy it 4 times, and then we'll see where's the closest place we can do stacking and crystallizing. Can we do it a smarter way than what we're doing right now? All sorts of questions we need to answer for ourselves. This also, I'm thinking train input, because I don't want 3 belts that look like this and then peel off. See, we need the spacing to do the peel off, right? But I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Great. So I think that's it. I don't see any other issues that I need to talk about. Yep, I think that's it for this episode, guys. We did a good job. We redid our Recombinator this episode, and our new Recombinator is much faster. We've baked in the logic for flushing the shape right at the start of the Recombinator, so it definitely doesn't jam up as much. We've shortened all of the belts, and we've built in rotation, so we don't need extra rotation platforms either. It's amazing, guys. It's amazing. Good job. Good job. Well, I'm just patting myself on the back, whatever. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. Plenty more episodes to come. Well, hopefully not too many until we have our fully optimized MAM. And then we will call it quits for the MAM series. I'll post my blueprint. You guys can play around with it. You guys can make it way more optimal. But if you don't want to miss out on all the future episodes, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Otherwise, I will see you next episode. Have a good one, guys.